Hey everybody, it's Tony with Big T Bariatric, and I'm back at you with another reaction video. Today it is Sunday, February 12th. It is a beautiful, gorgeous day out there. Sunny, it's about 55 degrees. I'm repping my Broncos orange and blue today for Super Bowl Sunday. I just got home from church and I got to go back later for our Super Bowl party, but I thought I'd make you guys a video. If you could do me a huge favor, please hit the subscribe button down below. It's down there. You can see it. It's bright square. It says subscribe. Please hit that for me. We just passed 3,000, and I'm so thankful for every single one of you who are joining on this journey with me. And for those of you who have not hit that subscribe button yet, please do so and help us get to 4,000. I greatly appreciate it. If you are a subscriber, please hit the like button. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this video, and we can talk about it down below. But this time it's going to be another plot twist because they're not blocking me. So hallelujah, I found a way to be able to react to my 600-pound life and not get blocked. This time, it's boyfriends and girlfriends who have enabled on my 600-pound life. And I often talk about this in terms of addiction, how similar food is to other kinds of drugs when it comes to that connection that we have with the thing that gives us pleasure. But where food is different from drugs is you usually do not have an enabler who tries to get you to continue doing drugs. Maybe you do. Maybe you have a friend that you party with. Maybe there's somebody out there that, keeps supplying you drugs and stuff like that, but it's very different from food because you can get up and go out and find the drugs wherever they're at. And I often tell people I couldn't even begin to know where to look to find drugs. Like it's not like it's on every single street corner. Where food is completely different, where you have to have food to live. You can't say, no, I'm not going to go to those dark corners and buy drugs. It's like food is everywhere. They pump the smell of it into the air when you drive by. You need to eat to survive. And so a lot of people who enable others when it comes to food do so from a position of love in their heart, not even realizing what they're doing and how much they're hurting people. And you'd be surprised by how much people enable you from day to day when it comes to food, because we've sort of grown up in a different culture where food is an important part of it, right? So even today at church, we normally have our service and then we have a meal afterwards. And so I got my little bit of chicken and rice, which is what they had. And they had noodles and they had cake and everything else. And all I got was a little bit of chicken and rice. And somebody said to me, wow, is that all you're going to eat today? And I'm like, really? Are you asking me that? You know that I had weight loss surgery. You know I eat very, very little. Everybody sees me eating very, very little. And you're going to ask me, is that all I'm eating, as if I should be eating more than that? And I totally understand from her point of view, that's coming from a place of love. She's concerned. She wants to make sure I'm getting enough food and whatever. But at the same time, that's how enabling works, right? You see somebody who has a small amount of food and you just want to make sure that they have more food. It's kind of weird. But anyways, we're going to react to this video and, we'll see what happens. And so let's get started right now.
My life has been seriously impacted because of how high my weight is now. With how big I am, it's hard to do much of anything.
What's the fastest way to get to 600 pounds? Well, all you gotta do is marry an enabler and let them spoon feed you to 1,000,000 calories a day. Today we're just...
I've often talked about that too. I've asked the question, how can some of these people on this show, most of them anyways, are married or are in a relationship with somebody, and here I am still single. And it kind of makes me blessed that I'm still single, because if I was still at my heaviest and I met somebody, she would most likely be a feeder, somebody who would want to keep me fat, versus somebody who would encourage me to stay thin. And so the people who would encourage me to be thin, to work out, to lose weight and stuff like that, I don't know that they would be attracted to me at this size. Maybe they would accept me knowing that I'm working hard. I don't know. But yeah, I guess I'm thankful that I am single during this part of my life. Even though I do get lonely, I do wish that I had somebody. I've been single for a very, very, very long time. But yeah, for some reason, most of these people are married to enablers. And we talk about that relationship a lot, and how it seems like their whole relationship is based around food, and that's all it is. And that's all they have. They're not having sex with each other. They don't have any kind of physical connection to each other. It's 100% based around food.
discussing the most toxic enablers my 600-pound life has ever seen. When it comes to toxic, oversized lifestyles of these obese patients, nothing's off the table except for all that food. That comes off the table pretty fast, so buckle up, order a pizza, and let's dish out some of the most toxic enabling partners on my 600-pound life.
I've always wanted to lose weight, I just never knew how to lose weight. Nobody wants to be like this. And if they do, they're crazy.
Lisa E from season 10 gave us a prime example of a toxic enabling relationship.
You see her leg, man? That was horrible. But just the amount of food that her husband brought her, I mean, I think she even died, or her husband died. One of them died. Maybe even both of them have died now. But man, just to have somebody just constantly bring you that amount of food, whatever you ask for, it's right there. It's got to be hard, especially if you have an addiction to it.
Hers also happens to be the most dysfunctional one the show's ever seen.
Sometimes my bedding gets wet, and then we have to change the bedding, and then if it's bath time, we'll take a bath. Get some soap and rags and wash my legs and rinse them off.
Lisa is bedridden due to her massive size, and her husband Randy bathes her in bed when she wants to be rinsed, or she calls it washed.
What's that mean about Lisa is her personality. I love everything about Lisa. I miss her being there with me. That's how I feel about that.
Her husband cooks her elaborate meals and delivers them to her bed. For some reason, he never second guesses his meal choices, even though her health is clearly on the decline.
Growing up, my life was chaotic.
I mean, if you have somebody that you say that you love and you care about, at some point, if you see that their health is declining because of the amount of, or the type of care that you're giving them, like, wouldn't that click within your brain like, wow, I'm actually doing something that's causing them more harm? That's actually killing them. I'm not showing them love by continuing to give them what they want. This lady can't even get up out of bed. She would have no choice but to eat what her husband made her. And so if he decided that, wow, I'm not going to keep ordering pizza and piling it up with chips and all that anymore. We're going to eat healthy around here. Like, she would have no choice but to follow along with that. But he refuses to do so.
Watch as he hands her a giant oven tray with what appears to be 6 slices of pizza, a mountain of Doritos, and some other neon orange monstrosity that I can't quite figure out.
It's hard because you spend a lot of time alone because no one wants to be around you. But my sister Robin and my sister Jojo live here in town. We talk on the phone mostly. Taters are pretty good.
Then for lunch, she eats a sloppy mess of potatoes, cheese, and turkey. Randy, of course, delivers her a portion fit for a family of 4.
I mean, you were able to sit up and walk and get out of bed.
I haven't been able to walk, like I said, about 3 or 4 years.
Even Dr. Now calls out Randy for his behavior.
Your boyfriend's still going to be enabling you, or he's going to stick with your healthy eating habits?
Since Lisa can't get out of bed, Randy is more or less responsible for everything she eats. So Dr. Now is right to...
Yeah, I mean, it's very easy to blame the person who's sitting in bed, right? But it's also the fault of the person who keeps bringing her the food. So they're both at fault for this.
Hold them responsible.
What do you think?
Stick with the healthy eating because I have to too.
He said he's going to stick with it.
He even asks both Randy and Lisa if Randy will continue to enable her throughout her new weight loss journey, and he swears he'll diet alongside her.
Go over and get like 6 frozen pizzas and get a pack of corn dogs too.
I remember this. Like, he went grocery shopping, and they were like on a Zoom call or a Facebook call or something like that, and she's telling him what to buy. It's like right after getting off the phone with Dr. Now, she sends them to the store and tells them what to buy, and it's all garbage, and he buys it all. Like, that's a dysfunctional relationship. It's like he's trying to kill her.
See corn dogs?
All right, just grab 4 bags of pizza roll and get out of there.
Then, just a few moments later, he rushes to the store with a tall order from Lisa, filling up a cart with soda, corn dogs, and pizza just to please her. Has he completely forgotten the promise he just made?
We need to cut the food off at the source. Where is your enabled boyfriend so I can talk to him and see why he's overfeeding?
As Lisa continues to binge eat, Dr. Now demands to talk to Randy on the phone.
So you're the one who brings Lisa on the food that's killing her. So why are you doing that? She hasn't lost any weight over the last month. She's still over 600 pounds. So you're not feeding her a little. You're feeding her a lot.
When Dr. Now calls out Randy for overfeeding Lisa, Randy folds immediately.
What happened if you don't bring it? Is she gonna get up and go get it?
Randy, you have to talk to him because this is important. He's only...
It's important to you, really? Then you wouldn't have sent him to the store immediately after talking with Dr. Now and buying all that crap if it was important to you. And he had no right getting upset. Like, I'm not going to talk to Dr. Now anymore. I mean, I understand he's feeling the blame. And when people feel like they're being blamed for something, rather than facing it head on, they're going to turn their back on it and walk away, and they don't want to have that conversation anymore. I mean, he's just being a grown baby about it, and she's probably being a, you know what, making him get what she wants, or she's going to scream at him. And so, you know, he's not going to sit there and tell Dr. Now, well, it's her fault because she will get mad at me if I don't get what she wants. So he's feeling the blame from both ends there. Like it's 100% his fault when it's both of their fault.
Trying to help us.
Nothing we can do now.
It's honestly pathetic to watch, but boy, does it make for great TV.
My life has been seriously impacted because of how high my weight is now. With how big I am, it's hard to do much of anything.
Next up, we've got Julian, also from season 10.
So I only get up for limited things, really. The main one being to cook. That's one of my passions, and it's something I'm good at.
Julian cooks for his wife Irma all the time. It's the only thing he gets out of bed to do, and it's what he spends most of his day doing.
I would have to say that my favorite meal that Julian cooks for me is salmon when he cooks it in butter. And then he makes asparagus next to it and Brussels sprouts.
Irma says she loves it when he cooks salmon in butter with asparagus. By the looks of both of them, we're imagining the recipe calls for at least a pound of butter.
He's very good.
Yeah, just talking about all the healthy foods that you enjoy your boyfriend or husband making for you. It's like, yeah, that's bad right there. But I mean, if you can get up out of bed and cook a full meal like that for the both of you, you can do a little bit more. You can get up and do other things. You can go for a walk. You can get some exercise and just cut back on the portions. You can still make some great food. Like you just talked about, the salmon and the asparagus. Like you can cook like that every single day and you would do well. You would lose a lot of weight. Just cut out some of that butter. You can still use a little bit of butter, but cut out a lot of it and you'll start losing weight. Add in with a little bit of exercise. Like your priorities are off. Because you act like you can't do nothing because you're so fat and so big and your life is diminished, which is true. If you're that big, that's true. But if you can get up and cook, you can get up and go for a 5-minute walk.
I'm making meals that taste good, but getting more worried about him.
Irma says she's worried about Julian though, but by indulging with him and eating massive meals all the time, she's only enabling him to be more obese.
Around that time, I lost my job because they were discriminating about my weight. I had nothing to offer for that security at that moment. But I asked her to move in with me, and she did that.
Julian even lost his job because he was too overweight to cook, and Irma still moved in with him. She clearly doesn't motivate him or support him to be any healthier, and doesn't even bat an eye when his obesity keeps him from making money.
You know,
I mean, that's someone who's definitely a feeder. Like you don't care that he's gaining weight because he's cooking for you, he's doing all this for you, and you're probably the one working and paying the bills because he can't do that. So you don't care that he can't work because of his size, as long as he keeps feeding you and giving you what you want and making all these great meals for you, you're going to stick with him.
well, she also scared about me losing weight too. Just the simple fact that she think I'm gonna leave her for somebody else. But
Exactly. She's a feeder. She's indulging in this lifestyle because she is so insecure about herself that she thinks that if he loses weight, he's going to leave her and go find somebody else. So that's why a lot of these relationships are like this. There are two people who find each other who are miserable and lonely, and usually both of them are overweight and indulging in the same lifestyle. And they're so afraid that if they change or try to lose weight or try to get healthy, that the other person's going to leave them. And they're so insecure about themselves that they find somebody who's just like them and has the same problem that they do. And so that's why a lot of these people who become 600 pounds, they have enablers who are spouses who give them what they want because they're so insecure about themselves.
I'm not.
If you weren't convinced by now that she is an enabler, she admits to the folks at home that she's worried about Julian leaving her if he loses weight. She clearly wants to keep him fat just to keep him around.
My greatest love in life is food. There's no greater pleasure in this world than eating food. It's a more pleasure button for me than sex.
Lacey, our next contestant on the show.
Yeah, we've done this one before. I think she's the one who told her boyfriend to put the butter and make fry up the bacon in the butter. That was gross. But yeah, I mean, you could tell what she just said was true, that, you know, food is more pleasure for her than sex, which means she doesn't need to lose weight to be in a relationship with somebody. All she needed to do was find herself an enabler who would give her the food which to her is just as pleasurable or even more pleasurable than sex. So again, their relationship is not based on anything physical.
Says food brings her more pleasure than sex. She must be one horny woman, because by the looks of it, she's pushing 700
I didn't even think about that. She must be one horny woman. Because she gets so much food and it's better for her than sex.
pounds.
I have not been able to wipe myself in 7 years. And sometimes that responsibility falls to my boyfriend.
Lacey is so fat she hasn't wiped her own butt in 7 years. It's all good according to her though, because that's where her enabling boyfriend Ricky comes in.
I do have a boyfriend. I met him a month ago on a dating site. And since then, we've seen each other every single day. We're really enjoying each other's company. And I feel very blessed to have met him.
Lacey only met this sad sack of a guy just 1 month ago on a dating app. Now he's cooking for her,
You're only glad because he gives you what you want, the food. That's it. That's all you're in it for.
feeding her and wiping her butt too, I guess. It's cute if you're into that sort of thing.
Lacey's that type of person that will give you your shirt off her back. That loving, caring, snuggle bear kind of person.
Ricky says Lacey is his snuggle bear, so he doesn't mind wiping her butt to keep her happy.
Lacey asked me to come to the bathroom, and sometimes I do help her wipe herself. It doesn't bother me because I love her a lot, and I really like to keep Lacey happy.
After wiping her butt, Ricky goes right to the kitchen and starts making some concoction of oil and butter for Lacey to eat. God, I hope he washed his hands.
What a day.
What a day. Beautiful day, actually. I got it. I know. Make sure you don't fall out. Let's go, girl. Let's get it going.
Ricky loves to help Lacey in and out of the truck, and it's clear that he enjoys carting her belongings for her and babying her. The true definition of an enabler.
Yeah, the next stop I gotta stop. Oh, I gotta get fast. And new pants.
So,
New pants. New pants.
Oh, God, no.
I just want to check. I just had to change my sitting situation here. I'm still dealing with back pain. Forgive me. All right, let's get back to it.
Lacey even poops herself on the drive up, and Ricky just doesn't care.
She pooped herself. She was just taking a fart, you know, like anybody does, and, well, it wasn't a fart.
Yeah, these two are made for each other.
All right. Here, baby. Here, give me a bite.
Hey, I'm here.
Bianca's husband Ramante loves to overfeed her. It's how the two of them bond.
I just don't feel good today. Maybe I'll feel better if I get this food in me.
I bet you will.
Really? You don't feel good today, but you bet you'll feel better if you get a little food in you. And the boyfriend's like, yeah, I bet you will too. Usually food will complicate that if you're not feeling good.
He escorts her through the drive-thru and enables her to eat enough for 5 people, even indulging in overeating himself.
Can I get the number 3, the bigger Jack burger? And then also, can I get a chicken BLT with fries? And then I just want a big BLT.
Give me 3 cheeseburgers, a large order fries, and 4-piece chicken tender.
Even on the drive.
Geez, how much money do they spend on food every month? I'd love to see their budget. Man, that's both of them eating like that.
Now, they stop at Jack in the Box and eat enough food to feed a farm.
You want any good old Louisiana chicken? Here you go. Ride a cart.
He even offers her a luggage cart and pushes her around the hotel so she doesn't have to walk. Someone who is supportive of her weight loss journey would encourage her to at least take a few steps.
Man, enabling, it's so tough. I'm telling you right now, if you really care for somebody and you love them, you will stop enabling them to do the things that's killing them. And that's what a lot of these relationships are based around. And a lot of people don't want to stop enabling because they're afraid it'll change the dynamic of their relationship. If you get skinny, you're going to leave me. If you stop eating a certain way, then we have no connection anymore. It's not about food anymore. Then we have to find another way to get along with each other. I guess, you know, that's part of why I'm glad I'm still single. Part of it is because if I did find somebody who's found me attractive at this size, I'm afraid that they would be a feeder, like they'd want to keep me at the size. And I want to find somebody who will encourage me to keep losing weight and to keep kicking at it, you know, kicking its butt and, you know, just keep being active. So that's the kind of person I want to meet. But that kind of person might not be attracted to somebody my size right now. They would want somebody who's more fit. So that's why I kind of feel like I'm in this waiting zone. It's like people find me attractive. They like my personality. They think I'm a good looking person. But at the same time, they're not willing to date me because I'm not where I need to be yet. You know, it's kind of weird. It's just all in my brain. Like, I still wonder why I'm still single, and, you know, and people on my 600-pound life have somebody. But just judging by this, it's not a relationship that I want to be in at all. I don't want to be in love with someone who's only in love with feeding me. And then when I lose the weight, it's like, okay, what kind of connection are we going to have anymore? It's not a real connection. You know, I don't want my relationship to be based around food. I want it to be based upon a mutual love between two people. And that being, you know, Christ, you know, a Christian woman who has the same love for God that I do. And we have a good godly marriage together, and we have kids and build a family that way. Like that's what I'm looking for. I couldn't imagine building a relationship around food. And you might have your own things that you want to build your relationship around, and that's totally fine. But if it's something like food and you're just enabling each other to kill each other, that's not healthy. That's not a healthy relationship, because your relationship is not with the other person. It's with the food. The food is what gives you pleasure. The food is what makes you comfortable and happy, not the other person. And that's a relationship that's doomed to fail. Either you're going to die or the relationship's going to fail when food kind of stops being the person that helps you, because it's a toxic relationship in the very end. It's very, very toxic. So anyways, that's my video for today. It's just a quick one, I guess. And I will be back tomorrow with another video. I hope you enjoyed it. And I guess go Eagles tonight, because I can't stand the Chiefs because I'm a Broncos fan. So hope you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. And if you're watching the Super Bowl, have fun with that. And if you're not, because I got a lot of people who are not Americans or don't watch football, I hope you have a great rest of your evening, and God bless you all. See you next time.